In part 1 and 2, we reviewed the use of master and develop as the foundation for all work that you need to do, and the use of issue level branching to make sure that you can utilize Jira to show what is happening in the code repository. Then, in part 2, we went through the epic level and why you would ever use that as a larger product increment size, and how you would use it to coordinate two Scrum teams that were able to work independently. But the enterprise is much more complex than that. In the enterprise, you may have completely separate teams that are doing work either on the back end or maybe with analytics tagging, and the ability to account for all of that in a multi-team release train becomes critically important. Here's how we do it by linking Jira with GitHub. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do as a system admin in Jira is create a theme issue type. This isn't included out of the box. Now remember, this is not a parent level above Epic. Epic is always the top level, which gives it sovereignty when it comes to each of your Scrum teams. But a theme, as a separate issue type at the issue level, makes it really great for coordination. In your Git repository, you'll use integration branches to represent themes that require special enterprise integration. Something else to note is that a theme should be used sparingly. You don't always need an integration branch. You only need it if you have dependencies on other teams outside of your release train scattered around the enterprise. Otherwise, you would want to use just the feature branching for each epic in the team and simply make sure that they're added to develop in a coordinated manner prior to the release. There's no reason to make epics children of themes unless there is some date-based difference in the deployment environment. So let's see how all of this plays out with our teams. Develop already exists, and at the issue level, occasionally we do stories to improve upon the product completely independently. And occasionally we need to hold stories back as part of an MVP that a team will do as part of an epic. And that's with the feature branch, still branching, of course, at the issue level at all times. Now, if you need to do an enterprise integration because there's a date-specific difference in the deployment environment, such as endpoints that another team will handle, at that point you might want to use an integration branch with a theme that will tie it all together. So that branches off of develop as well, and at the feature level, you have each of the epics for the various teams. You may also have upfront work done in terms of framework updates or integration work with the new web services. Maybe you need to install a new framework for your CSS or HTML, and then the teams can use their epics to get their work done as they always did, always branching at the issue level. Metrics may need to get done somewhere over here, creating reports. Analytics tagging may need to occur at the story level as you move, and you may even find some bugs or two. The key is to keep this down here. Don't make it a release branch. The release branch is always cut away from develop at the last moment. You can see that this theme came out right here and scoots back in just before this release. One thing we want to make sure we are doing is not putting all of this in a release with all of this. That's just too risky.